How's it going, everybody? Oh, Jesus. Should never do that again. That was a horrible intro idea. Ooh, my feet hurt. How's your week going? I know it's Friday. At least the time that I'm recording this. You're probably watching it after the fact. But, how's it going? As you see, we actually have a set. I'm just as shocked as y'all are. I really am. It's really weird being able to stand up and record a video rather than having to sit on my bed couch thing. Futon? It's called a futon. As you can tell by the title, we are playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Now, if you're anything like me, you hate dungeon crawlers because things like Diablo are extremely boring. However, I decided, because I am an avid Pokemon fan, if you couldn't tell by the Pokemon posters and the Togepi plush, I decided to try it. A lot of my friends had been suggesting it, and I've seen my friends play it since it came out in 2006, so I decided to nut up and shut up, go ahead and try it, and I really enjoyed it. Mind you, yes, it was in fact Clunkiest 2006, it was still a really fun game, and I highly recommend you guys go play it. Now, here's my actual thoughts. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team came as the sparked love child of Chunsoft's Mystery Dungeon series, which at the time had only released in Japan on the Super Famicom, and Game Freak's own Pokemon. Having never played a Mystery Dungeon game because it only released in Japan, I can't really base my opinions on how the two differ. But looking at side-to-side gameplay shows that it's pretty obvious that Chunsoft just slapped some Pokemon sprites on an already built game engine, wrote a story, and called it a day. I don't blame them, honestly. It worked surprisingly well with Pokemon. But that story I was just telling you about, whew, I ain't teared up at a Pokemon game in a very long time, but this shit hit different, man. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, guys. That was not me. I should not have said that. That was horrible. Actually, before we get into the story, I'm gonna go over the personality test that you take at the beginning of the game to find out who you as a Pokemon are. It asks you a series of questions like, are you a boy or a girl? You know, the staple Pokemon question. But it'll also ask you some really weird questions like, do you sometimes run out of things to do? Or, do you dream about lounging around idly without much excitement? Very specific questions about my personal day-to-day life that I don't feel comfortable sharing. However, I did, so I could get my Pokemon, and it chose Charmander for me, which was weird because I don't think in the multiple times that I've attempted to start playing this game, did I ever get Charmander. I usually would get like Mudkip or Squirtle, but I got Charmander, and I'm okay with it. The story is that of legend. A human turned into a Pokemon and is destined to save the world, while also encountering some quirky and some downright shitty Poke people along the way. The first Pokemon you meet is your partner for the rest of the game. They come with you through thick and thin. Usually thin because their AI is absolutely brain dead, but regardless, they're there. The two of you decide that after your first rescue mission, to form a rescue team, or a group of ragtag good doers whose only goal is to help everyone in need. Little does Team BDE know, yes, that stands for Big Dick Energy, there's a lot more in store than the fetch quests that they can find on Pelipper's billboards. They play a much bigger part in saving the world than they had originally intended. Along your path of helping random Pokemon find their friends, get their items back, or hell, even just to escape some dungeons, you'll come across Pokemon who want to join your rescue team. And later in the game, a rescue team whose only goal is to get rid of you because you're better than them. They're led by the piece of work, Gengar. Now, before I even got to the point where I knew that Gengar was a piece of shit, I looked at him and said, wow, that guy's a piece of shit. The Gengar story-wise, however, was once a human like you. However, he was far more nefarious. In fact, the Gardevoir that keeps popping up in your hallucinogenic LSD-ridden dreams was actually his Pokemon partner that saved herself for him, and he didn't give two rats' asses. It's awesome. I love it. I hate this Gengar. Throughout Team BDE's journey, they get the knowledge that they're going to save the world. I know I've said that like 3 different times, but this is the actual explanation. Natural disasters have been happening all over the region, and nobody knows why. So, Gengar, being the awesome person that he is, tries to put the blame on you due to the legend of the Ninetales, stating that there is a human whose Pokemon partner sacrificed their life, and the person would soon bring destruction to the world. If you remember what I said earlier, that Pokemon's Gengar, it's like when you're imposter in Among Us, and you keep telling the other people, oh no, they're imposter, but it's really you. It's the same energy. After he tells that, it makes the entire town and region decide that you are the bad guy. So they make you and your partner run away due to being considered fugitives. Once evicted, you travel through the caverns and mountains to fight the legendary birds. Those fights are so fucking upsetting. I had to go through with no reviver seeds because my stupid self didn't have any in storage, and whenever I went to the Kecleon shop, I got hit with the no luck hammer in any of the dungeons throughout the game, because you can actually find Kecleon shops throughout the dungeons in the entire game. But I wouldn't know that. Yeah, no, I hate the legendary birds. Shit. Fuck. After saving the world, fighting against Rayquaza so he can actually help you save the world, and destroyed the comet that's plummeting towards the world, which then knocks you and your partner into the Yeet dimension, you then get sent to the Yeet dimension. And believe it or not, what brings you back to the land of the living was in fact Gengar. In an attempt to drag you through the Yeet dimension and more or less Bill Cosby you, he brings you back to the normal world because he realizes that you're just like him. When you arrive back, you figure out that the two of you had saved the world. You brought peace and balance to the world with the help of the legendary birds and the elemental trio from Hoenn, but you can take pride in knowing that you saved the world. However, because of that, you recall what Gardevoir had said earlier in the game, and let everyone know that you'd have to return back to the human world due to your duty being fulfilled. With that news being given, you get Thanos tapped back to the human world, and all of your friends that you made throughout the journey are being brought to tears. Even your little spirit orb self that you turn into, the little Thanos powders, get brought to tears too. And you wished so hard to stay a Pokemon that you actually get to stay in the Pokemon world to stay. Peace was restored to the Pokemon world, and that peace pushed me to talk about the gameplay. I know, my segues are awesome. The gameplay of Mystery Dungeon is actually surprisingly simple. It's just a dungeon crawling RPG with Pokemon sprites in it. I would hope that Chunsoft by this point, having done Mystery Dungeon for, almost 3 decades, would know how to use their engine properly, and they do, for the most part. It's still a little clunky, but I'm sure that just comes with the fact that it's the first Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. In each dungeon, you go through with your partner Pokemon, and any Pokemon you've either rescued prior or recruited during your exploration. During that dungeon, you can do tasks, which can range from rescuing small worthless Pokemon, or in the case of boss battles, saving the fucking world. All of which earn you rescue points. Except for some reason saving the world, that one didn't earn you rescue points, even though you literally rescued the Pokemon. Don't get me started on that. I'm not even going to get started on that. But the rescue points help you rank up your rescue team. All that does is give you better rescue missions, and even then, I got B and A rank rescue missions as a bronze rank rescue team. I would have made it to normal, but I really could not have cared. The quests get done by traversing the dungeon using the D-pad, along with, if you want to speed up for your little Speed of Sound Sonic Adventure Let's Play, you just press the B button and press it in any direction. Along the way, you can find items on the ground, items literally in the ground, fight Pokemon to gain experience, and encounter these beautiful things called monster houses. Now, pray that in your monster house you don't encounter a Fearow, because Fearow is literally the worst part of this game. Like, I can count more times that I died from a Fearow than I did any of the boss fights, because for some reason, it always lands Fury attacks. Like, even if you don't want it to land a Fury attack 5 different times, it will. And each Fury attack land does 15 damage. Why did Chunsoft think that was okay? Like, what? I understand Game Freak had time and effort put into the game, but why did they let Chunsoft say it's okay for Fury attack to do that much damage? It doesn't make any sense. I hate it. All in all, the gameplay was really fun. Sorry about the little tangent. That was like really, I think I just had a Vietnam flashback from Fearow. I apologize. Wow. One thing that stays pretty consistent in normal Pokemon games and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is leveling up to get new moves. When you learn a move, you can either choose to forget a previous move, which if you want to go back and relearn that previous move, you can go to the Gulpin shop and relearn it. But once you do actually learn that move, you can set it to where you only use that move rather than just the normal thrusting tackle. Throughout the entire game, I had my entire party set to only use those exclusive moves, because by the point in time where I got good moves, the normal thrust tackle did almost nothing. It was still really nice to be able to choose what Pokemon used what moves, minus you. For some reason, you, the main Pokemon actually, can only use one move at a time, and if you want to change that move during the battle, you have to waste a turn by going into the menu and changing that move. It's a little clunky, but I'm sure that's how it was in regular Mystery Dungeon too. And I'm sure that's essentially just like the set battle style in Pokemon, the normal Pokemon games anyways, where like if you want to switch Pokemon, you don't get to when the opponent switches, but what can you do? So, overall, yeah, it was an amazing game, and I loved almost all of my time with it, minus the legendary bird fights. And for some reason, Fearow, I've never had a problem with Fearow in the other games. However, here, Fury attack does like 30 damage a piece, and it always hits the 5 times. Regardless, you heard me talk about that. You've already heard me bitch about that. So, do I recommend you guys go out and buy it? Not on GameStop's website currently, because it's $20. But if you can find it for a good price, go ahead, do it. It was a genuinely fun game, and even if you don't like dungeon crawlers like me, because I hate them, you're gonna love this if you like Pokemon, because it's Pokemon. I mean, it's still the RPG elements of Pokemon, turn-based systems, just dungeon crawler-y. But with all that being said, I kind of want to go to a bar, but I'm 19, so I'm gonna play Pokemon Pinball instead.